Welcome to cooking cheap, easy, and tasty meals. Today I'm going to make some air fryer kibbeh balls. There are several ways you can make it. One way you can make it is to create a dough and put the meat inside it. But basically I'm going to make it a simple way. It's just going to be a meatball with kibbeh flavoring. That's something I really like. So to start with, I'm going to take 1/3 of a cup of bulgur, red bulgur, whole grain, and put it into a bowl, and I'm going to cover it with hot water for about 15 or 20 minutes to soften it up. This is just hot water right out of the faucet. It's not extremely hot, but I'm just going to let it soak for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to take half an onion and cut it up pretty finely to go into the meat. Go in with the meat as part of the seasoning. So I'm going to get that out of the way. This is making my eyes tear up. Probably tell I'm not the best at chopping things. I have a chopper I could have used, but I kind of like doing this myself. There's something to be said for touching the food, you know, that you're going to eat, making sure you have smelled it and felt it. That's half an onion, and my eyes are tearing like crazy, which is not surprising, is it? Now that we've got our onion, we're going to add our spices. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cumin and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of allspice and ginger each. And finally, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of paprika. So it's a pretty generously spiced mixture. And we're going to mix all of that in with the onions, and then we're going to add the meat. Looks like I didn't get some of the onion cut quite as fine as I would like, but that's all right. Okay, to this we're going to add 1 pound of ground meat. Now this happens to be a ground chuck, because that was what was on sale. And I'm a firm believer, if they put it on sale, you ought to use it in a meal. I'm going to break this up in here, and then I'm going to mix it all up. And then we're going to add the wheat. Okay, we're going to mix all this up first. Get this mixed nicely. And then we're going to add the bulgur wheat. It's still soaking anyway. So I'm just going to do the squishy method. Squeezing it in by hand and rolling it over and squishing it some more. By the way, if you could smell this, the mixture of all the seasonings is great. This is going to taste incredible, I'm pretty sure. All right, now we've got that. The next thing I've got to do is drain the bulgur wheat and put it in the mixture. All I'm going to do is strain it through a regular strainer. And if you look, you'll see that it's absorbed a lot of the water and should be a lot softer now. So I'm going to bring that over and add that in. And now I'm going to mix that up. Try and get that spread throughout. That'll give it some of the texture of a regular kibbeh. It won't be the same because a regular kibbeh is a fried ball, and the meat is inside a kind of the filling inside kind of a crust made of the bulgur wheat. But this ought to be a pretty good simulation of it, and certainly a lot easier to make than trying to do that. Okay, I'm going to let it sit, let the flavors and the spices blend in for a little while. Now I'm going to make the meatballs. You can do this with a couple of spoons, but since I've got this, I'm going to use it. I'm trying to get these approximately the same size. I'm probably not succeeding, but I'm trying. This is 16. And we're going to get maybe one more, so we're going to get 17. Last time I made this, I must have had closer to a pound, so I got 17 instead of 16. Those are ready to go into the air fryer. I'm going to preheat the air fryer to 375 degrees, and then I'm going to cook these. Okay, it's been preheated, so I'm going to spray it with a little oil to help crisp up kibbeh. And I'm going to put them in here a few at a time. I think about 9 at a time. Let them cook. Okay, and I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to set it for 370 degrees for 15 minutes, and I'm going to check it halfway through. Okay, I'm going to check these now, and we are at 8 minutes, and I believe they're done. I made them a little smaller this time, and sure enough, they're over 165, so they are done. So I am going to move these out to a plate and start the next batch. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a total of 17. So I'm going to stop this, restart it, and this time I'm going to set it to 8 minutes at 370. Since it appears they're cooking faster. And a shake at 4 minutes. Here we are at 4 minutes. They're looking really good. I'm going to try and turn them over this time. Make it a little crisper on both sides. I don't think it makes that much difference. But browning is good. I could have just shaken them just as well. Okay, I'm going to put it back in for the last 4 minutes. Okay, I'm going to check these and see if they're done. Temperature is over 165. I think we probably could have cooked them for a minute less, but I think they're going to be fine like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. The good thing about cooking this is all the oil, grease, fat, it drains out to the bottom, and so these are pretty much ready to go. You don't have to do much to them. You can hear it, as a matter of fact. And here we have a plate of 17 Kibbeh meatballs. Now, these could be used in any place you'd use a regular meatball. You could use them with spaghetti. You could use them with any number of things. But they're really spicy and edible by themselves. I'm going to add some veggies in a roll and have it as for supper tonight. I hope you enjoy them. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a like. Thank you.